All right, I am done with the court papers. I am in the Cybertruck, full self-driving, 13.2.8, and as soon as I walked in with the Cybertruck, there was two ladies, and they were like, "That is a fat ride." That was unexpected. Either way, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see how this thing handles this parking lot. I don't know if the Cybertruck can get out. Can it get out? I've already paid for the ticket. I just want to see if it can go out without crashing out. All right, here we go. And here's how it struggles with the start. That's just normal. So I'm just going to tap on this accelerator. Okay. All right. This is extremely tight in here. Extremely tight. There's a good chance that if there's a car, like an oncoming car, that it'll give up. And look at this blind spot. I mean, hell of a blind spot. 5 miles per hour. Okay, the car can probably see before I see because the cameras are up here. The snitch camera's right here, but the driving cameras are actually up here. And we're going 10 miles an hour, even though the speed says 5. And stop sign, it doesn't care. It's not stopping. Here's the exit. Doesn't know how. Can it? Wait. Okay, so this is the exit. Okay, so it doesn't know. It doesn't know that this is the exit. It doesn't read signs. Exit. Okay, so I'm just gently nudging it, letting it know. Oh man. Do not back up. Severe tire damage. Exit. Okay, boom. We're over and we're good. So if it knew where the exit was, it would have been good. I'm not pushing it to go, and it's just going by itself right now. No acceleration, and we are on the road. Ooh, so it took a detour. It decided to not use what it had in the GPS. It was always interesting when you see that, because you see the GPS and where it tells you to go, and the car decides to go on its own. I wish they would converge so that you kind of know in advance what the car is thinking as opposed to what it's going to do. But I think the systems are independent because of that. Anyway, so yeah, I got a packet of papers. It cost me a lot less than I expected. $240 to file a court case. So I was expecting upwards of 400. You know, everything in California is expensive. Okay, where are we going? Queen Street, one more street, and then we should be home on the freeway. And getting to the freeway. Ooh, look at that Tesla in back of us. There's that Tesla, I mean, that's a good looking car. I think it is. The new Model 3, maybe? Yes, it is. So it's interesting that the Model 3 looks one way and the new Model Y looks like a different way. And they're supposed to be like sibling cars. Yeah, it's just interesting that they're so different. Yeah, nice smooth stop, and we're moving again. So let's go. There's another stop right here, and we're going to go right through it. So it's interesting seeing the Tesla stock. I was going to buy some more. Like I've been saying on this channel, I've been buying Tesla stock ever since they've been going down. Oh, there you go. The windshield wiper, that bug fix was never done. Okay, the windshield wiper still folding around whenever it feels like it. And yeah, it's going on about the stock, and now it feels like it's too high again. I only got 14 shares, and they were, when it was at 225, I believe it was at 285 last I checked. It's the market, I mean, it's just so volatile. If it drops to 200 again, I mean, that would wipe out some people that just got in on the dip, I believe, because they would probably freak out. And so anyhow, I am interested in seeing this summer. It's going to be a big deal when these Cybertruck comes out, and maybe a wide-scale release of the robot by the end of year, or not wide-scale, at least to internal Tesla users and maybe some influencers. Hopefully I can influence someone. I doubt it. My channel's way too tiny. Nobody even watches this stuff. But it's going to be interesting for sure with the Cybertruck. I really love that design of theirs. Okay, hold on. We're on a left turn. Outer lane. And we remain in the outer lane. We should turn left and then another left to get on the freeway. We are good. Full self-driving is just absolutely amazing tech. From the time I got to the courthouse and back to here, I mean, it is amazing that the only intervention was showing it where the exit was, because I thought it could figure it out, but it couldn't. But just getting out of that parking lot mostly is darn good. Ooh, there's a road construction. What are you gonna do, Tesla? You need to get over that lane. Don't you see road construction? So, fantastic. It sped up just enough to, well, more than enough to really leave that car aside of us behind. Have ample room to make the left turn. So I was going again about the Tesla Cybertruck. Really fantastic design. It is designed for passengers. It's not designed for a driver. It's very interesting. And on top of that, the front seat is kind of like the rear seat, in that you're a total passenger. It's like two passenger front seats. There's no steering wheel, there's no nothing. That should be already known, but on top of that, the thing that I don't think Tesla advertises enough is that there's self-cleaning. Like, you can, this thing is designed so that it pulls into an area where it gets serviced. It gets cleaned by like a robotic arm, and it also gets charged and wirelessly. Think about that. The car is ready for the next customer. I mean, while it gets cleaned, it gets charged. Granted, it's not enough time, but at least you can trickle charge the amount that you can, whatever you can, right, to keep it on the road for longer. It's called maximum efficiency. It's Elon Musk's first principles. Darn it, the guy can. It doesn't take a genius to figure out these things out, right? However, you've got to be some sort of genius to make it happen, to produce it. There's a lot of great thinkers that can think of these things, but thinking up of these things is just a small portion to actually making it. props to Tesla, and I just can't wait until I see how that Cybercab works out. And hopefully worldwide. I mean, it's a shame that those people that do this type of work, they might lose their jobs, or they might own a fleet of these. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that, or where the job market goes. But that's extra income for people to do these ride shares. And I've seen even like Tesla users. I mean, they can't afford their Tesla, so they do that sort of thing. It's honest work. I don't see a problem with it. So we're cruising along, and on the freeway, I've seen some videos on Facebook about the Cybertruck swerving onto these lanes while they're on longer road trips, and I would say that that's probably like a real thing. This Cybertruck, it tends to eat up more lanes than it needs when there's no one around, when no one's looking. It will do that. And going onto like those little reflectors on the floor and running over them is not uncommon. Even mine does that. And I believe it's just because when there's no one around, the Tesla just doesn't like to follow rules. And why would it? It's a rebel without a cause. I believe it just makes it safer. If there's no one around, you want to hog as much lane as you can, because you're ready for when something jumps into the road. It could be an animal that just runs across a road. You want to be as ready as possible. It's the safest way, the most defensive way to drive. I think it's a great way that Tesla differentiates itself. So there's, and going back to Tesla and full self-driving, we're using it right now, and there's always detractors, especially in my comments, that say that vision's not good enough, and I don't think that's true. Vision is good enough. Tesla full self-driving is the best one out of all of them. Because even if you have LiDAR is just a technology that is going to see in 3D space. But the way LiDAR works, it's not the way vision works. For instance, I can see ahead 5-6 cars. This car can see ahead that 5-6 cars too. However, LiDAR pushes a beam. It pushes its light source so that it can reflect back. Right? It's kind of like ultrasound, right? It pulses that light, and then that thing gets reflected. The thing with LiDAR is that it pulses in, it's pulsing in every single direction, and because of that, it has like a light fall off effect. Like, it's only good for a shorter range. The further the range gets out, the less accurate it is, because when light is projected out, there's a factor of loss, and as opposed to just viewing the image. I mean, the sun is like the strongest light, so when you have the sun, or you got the light beam directly at something, it's easier to see than light fall off. It's kind of like I forget the name of it, but when there's like flash photography, you lose a lot of the power by the distance. Like a few meters away, 1 meter versus 2 meter, you've lost like half of the power, and now you need a double. And then if you add another 2 meters, now that's a doubling of a double, so that's 4x. So it progressively gets worse, like the further away it gets, and it tapers off very much. And that's the issue with LiDAR. And LiDAR is not the end all be all, because even if I have the sensor, it doesn't mean that I know how to react or behave. And so LiDAR means that you have more expensive equipment. But Tesla, I mean, it's going off of a super expensive brain. It's going off of a super expensive billion-dollar data center. It's using the data networks that it's gained over the years. All of those miles it records, and because of that, it knows behavior. And its behavior is better than LiDAR systems. And LiDAR systems, theoretically, at close quarters, it might know more than the Tesla. However, it doesn't have the correct behavior. And that's if you have a very strong computer, then the computer is just very strong. It doesn't mean that it's smart or knows to do the right things. And that's the difference between Tesla and LiDAR system, is that Tesla is going off wealth of wisdom as opposed to like book smarts of a LiDAR system. That's how I see it. Anyways, this drive has been super smooth. There was 2 interactions. Once was when I got out the parking lot, and the other one was I wanted to exit early, so I forced it over. And other than that, it's been driving nice and smooth. Full self-driving is amazing like that. I wanted to, before I get off, this, okay, so I want to stop right here. So what was going on is that Tesla usually takes me the long route, and today it took me the short route, navigating without connectivity. Oh, maybe that's why. I don't know why connectivity is down, but it gave me the navigation with the short route instead of turning around. I just thought that was interesting. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, share. See you in the next one. Take care.